You know when it comes to a narcissist, they want power and control at all times. They need to be right all the time, and they feel an obsession and a need to win everything. And nothing is different when it comes to breakups or discards. Narcissists usually have some sort of plan in place when it comes to discarding a supply source. And this video discusses what actually makes a narcissist begin to put this plan into place and signs that a discard is coming. Most importantly, I'll explain how they actually go about discarding supply because there are some different strategies and methods that a narc can use. A need to discard really only boils down to a few different triggers that a narcissist can experience. Like I said in my intro, this is a power trip. So if the narc feels like they've lost power, it can prompt a need to leave. If there is criticism that deflates the narc's ego and you're no longer boosting them, but they feel like you're bringing them down, they will also begin to plot a discard. Along the same lines, if someone like this begins to feel very challenged by you, this can also follow a similar fate. You're never allowed to question their authority or their behaviors. When you do, this angers them and they begin to look for someone else. Boredom is also a factor that can lead a narcissist to discard. There comes a point where the relationship just isn't doing what it used to for a narc. If they feel like they're not getting the attention they used to, or if the relationship was maybe formed in some secret little love affair and that was what it was supposed to be, well, those feelings only last for so long. Narcissists have what's called novelty-seeking behavior. It's the strong desire they have to pursue new experiences constantly. And usually those experiences include intense emotional sensations. So when a person always needs someone shiny and new to keep them going, obviously boredom is something that can hit them quickly. And this leads to, of course, the introduction of a new supply, which will pull the narc away and cause a discard. If a nerve is hit or the narcissist becomes bored, they will begin to act differently once the discard is on the horizon. A narc might become extremely critical of you. You'll find that you can't do anything right. Your feelings and actions are going to be minimized and dismissed as the narc will just be blatantly attacking your self-esteem. One of the most common signs a discard is right around the corner is the reduced communication. All narcs run hot and cold, and when it's frosty on your end, you can rest assured it's heating up with someone else. The narcissist might start fights and then tell you they need some time and they need some space. They'll ignore texts and phone calls, and you can just tell that they're completely uninterested in responding and talking with you. Also, they'll show little to no interest at all in what's going on in your life. Now, they never really care much to begin with, but as the discard approaches, it actually becomes even less. Humans are creatures of habit, and narcs, sadly, are no exception to this. So when you notice changes in behavior and changes in routine, there's something else going on, especially if you point out some of these changes and you're met with gaslighting and intense defensiveness. A narc might also be far more bold about flirting with other people right in front of you. They can do this privately as well, but as they care less and less about you and what you think, there will become more boldness in some of their actions. Navigating narcissistic abuse can be really tough, and traditional therapy isn't always the best option for everybody. That's why I offer a flexible phone chat service that's designed to fit your life. My service is casual, affordable, and provides a supportive space far removed from formal therapy settings. We chat as just two survivors sharing experiences. My empathetic approach validates your experience and provides real-world strategies for overcoming the disorder. If you have any questions or want more information, how to reach out to me is on the screen for you now. I am here to support you on your healing journey. Now, some narcissists will get triggered by some of these things and just immediately discard. But most of them like to take their time, look around, and see what and who else is going on before they make the jump to a new source of supply. And there's a term for this. It's called monkey branching. Narcissistic monkey branching is when the narc keeps one relationship going while actively seeking out another, essentially ensuring that they have a backup before fully moving on. They often maintain emotional distance from their current partner, like we just talked about, showing less interest and gradually detaching. Meanwhile, they explore new romantic interests that will, of course, validate them and give them all the attention. So, how exactly will a narcissist discard? Whatever tactics a narc chooses, it is all about making sure this process is easy and manageable for themselves. How you feel about it, they really couldn't care less. Since this is all about what is, of course, best for the narcissist, most commonly discards involve the narc just leaving and abruptly ending communication. You might get a silent treatment out of left field. Any and all contact is just instantly gone. And this can happen even when things might seem okay. There's no fighting, no nothing. This is extremely akin to ghosting, where a person fades and slows communication until they just stop responding altogether and don't return. A narc can, of course, go the less covert route and decide to argue with you and berate you, pointing out all of your flaws and telling you how terrible you are. And that's why they're choosing to leave. This, of course, helps them create their little victim narrative, and it helps them justify ending the relationship. You're just completely blame shifted, guilt tripped, thrown under the bus, and made to think that you're the problem and you're the downfall. They can also gaslight you. As you feel them becoming dismissive and pulling away, they gaslight and convince you things are just fine. You're crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. While behind the scenes, they're coordinating with someone new and using the monkey branch technique before they fully make that jump and leave you behind. There are some narcissists who will actually love bomb or perform a grand gesture right before they leave. This confuses a person but has them thinking that the narc's trying to work on things. They're trying to make it right. When in reality, they're just sucking up to the supply because they know they're about to leave. And they have to make sure they don't look too obvious about it. It's all about power, control, and winning, just like I said in my intro. And with that, we've come full circle. Coping with being discarded by a narc is very challenging. There are ways to heal, acknowledging your feelings, whatever those might be. Allow yourself anger, sadness, or confusion. Seeking support from friends, family, or a therapist can definitely help you feel less isolated and let you talk about it. Establishing boundaries, limit contact with people like this. Focus on self-care through activities that nurture your well-being and help rebuild your self-esteem with positive affirmations. Reflect on the relationship and recognize those patterns so that you can make better decisions in the future. And always remember that healing takes time, so don't be too hard on yourself and definitely avoid rushing into new relationships. Were you discarded by a narcissist? Did they ghost or were they more confrontational? Did you leave them before they could even put a plan together? Share with me down in the comments. Thanks so much for listening. If you need more information about discarding and healing, I have a whole playlist on my channel. I will put it on the screen for you now. And of course, I'm available to talk as well. Have a great day, survivor, and take care of yourself.